Hey, so like the title says, today is my birthday, in fact. It's my 19th birthday. And also, it's recently been the 1 year anniversary of my channel. I didn't really make a video acknowledging that, so I guess I'm doing it right now. And on top of that, I didn't make a video on my 18th birthday, probably because the channel was in its infancy at the time, but there's a lot of stuff that I kind of just feel like talking about. In a way, kind of just reflecting over the last year, or you could say the time since I made the channel. And I was talking to people about this before, and I have very mixed feelings about shit that's gone on. Like, from 18 to 19, this is what I've been saying. I feel like I changed more as a person from ages 18 to 19 than I did from 13 to 18. And that's partially because of the stuff that I've talked about where I wasn't really doing much during those years and I didn't really even know how to take care of myself. So, also, I'm not even gonna bother with the fucking pirate ship, but I'm just gonna keep running. So I wasn't really able to change that much, but then, being on my own and shit like that. If you've seen my other videos, you've heard me talk about that before. But I wanted to talk about how, I feel like that part is a good thing, that I've changed a lot, that I've matured a lot as a person since my 18th birthday, more than I could have ever expected. But at the same time, once again, also if you see my videos more recently, as of the last few months, I feel like my world has kind of come crashing down in a way. I've had those things going on with family members and shit like that. It's just like, I felt like the way that I saw the world before was very different from how I see it now. And it's more complicated now. I'd say overall I'm still more happy than I was, but I'm also probably more anxious and just, I don't know, shit just feels a lot more complicated now. But overall I'd say that it's a good thing, what's been going on over the last year or so. Because I guess it was a lesson that I was going to have to figure out at some point, but that being said, I haven't changed my mind on the fact that I don't want to really do something that's normal if I had the choice. I still feel like that's probably what's going to happen. Because, even people who are kids, who have some dream career of being an astronaut or something, they end up working some cubicle job, and I feel like that's just the fate for me. I feel like these boots aren't made for us, but no, I feel like someone like me, someone who's just different from a lot of people, I just don't fit in well in this world, and I feel like because I'm so different and I feel so out of place here, that means that I'm probably not going to have success with some sort of Hail Mary type of thing like music or YouTube. I'm still going to do it, but I don't expect to ever have success with it, and I'm probably just going to end up working a job that I don't really like, and then once I'm done with work for the day, then I go have fun, but who the fuck knows. I also wanted to talk about the community post that I made yesterday. At least I think it was yesterday. It could have been two days ago. And this is more focused on the present and my school, and also about videos I've made in the past over the last 6 months since I started school. So, I was talking to my high school friends who also went to the same college. I was talking to two of them, and they both said, yeah, we're both leaving after this semester. And I'm like, yeah, I might be doing that too. And they're like, yeah, it just isn't nice here. People just aren't friendly. People are assholes. The location is really cool, but it just wasn't really what I wanted. And it was like, for once, it felt like the shit that I was saying, all of the rants that I've had on here, it felt like it was validated for once. Because I had sort of brought it up to other people who go here, and they're always like, yeah, but you just gotta get lucky, and you just gotta keep trying, and it'll happen eventually. And I will say this now, I met friends a couple weeks ago, but I still just want to bring up the fact that until a couple weeks ago, I had no friends. I go to college, I live on campus, and I didn't even have friends. And it's college, it's the place where, people do crazy shit and have these crazy parties, and I didn't even have friends. I had less than I even had in high school. So that just felt really out of place. Everything here just feels fucking flipped upside down. Like, I just want to talk about also the fact that my roommate You can hear me talk about it in Discord. I have two roommates, but there's one roommate who I'm definitely going to be telling stories about once I leave the school, or at least once the year is over if I do decide to come back here. I'm not going to do it now because I could cause problems for me, but literally the fucking situation with this particular roommate is so not what you'd expect. I'm just going to say this, over the last month, I've talked to him probably three sentences total that have been exchanged between us in the last month. And it's pretty depressing because we were actually like hanging out somewhat. We were fucking going to events at the start of the year, but then it felt like even though me and my other roommate tried to be friends with him a lot, he just didn't want that. He never wanted to be close with us and ended up being really awkward. And it's very different from, let's say, my brother's situation when he was in college. Like, he and his roommate ended up being weird, but they, while they were roommates, ended up being really good friends. They went together everywhere, and his roommate was like this crazy extroverted guy, and it got my brother like a lot of friends early on. Very, very different from my experience. Anyway, I also just want to talk about today what I've been doing since it is actually my birthday. There's events at my school right now. There's been multiple bands performing at concerts like all day, and I've been going to those a lot, and the reason why I'm not doing that right now is because I half just wanted to take a break, and also because it's sort of in between the event earlier and the event later. I think the later one just started like right now, so I'll go to that soon. But this is where I feel conflicted about my school stuff. That's cool. Like the fact that there's so much music shit here, even at the college. Like every couple of months, there's an event like this with a concert, and it's the one thing that makes me feel like staying. But I don't think that's enough. I don't think that's enough of a reason to stay at a school where I'm not happy otherwise. But I will just tell the story earlier. I went to one of the events, and sorry, I just got some fucking notification on my phone, but I went to one of the concerts earlier, and I said to like the singer of the band, like, oh hey, it's my birthday, right before they started. And the guy got me to go up on stage, and like he's like, wish him a happy birthday, shout out to him. And I'm like, okay, well that's cool. And then right after the show, he came down and started like talking to people in the audience, and then when he saw me, he like ran up to me and like bear hugged me without me expecting it, which was cool, but it was also just fucking hilarious because I was really not expecting that. And then we talked music and shit for a while, and that was nice. Today has been a good day, honestly. And yeah, I do plan on going to the next event. I don't really expect anything spectacular to happen, but overall, it's been a good birthday. It's been better than probably the last 8 years of birthdays that I've had. I don't really celebrate my birthday at all. I just stopped at some point. I'd say once every other year or something like that, I will go to dinner with my family or maybe friends. But, I didn't really have friends for the last 4 or 5 years anyway, so it didn't really matter. But, yeah. This has been a good day so far. I'm trying to think if there's anything that I left out. I guess in the same vein as the shit with the roommate that I'm not going to tell the stories of, there have been stories that I just haven't talked about, even though I've kind of wanted to. It's shit that I just feel like would be better left said once I'm gone from the school, even though it's not like it's anything insane. I feel weird talking about something that just happened, and for some reason, even though it's stuff that didn't just happen, it still feels like it just happened. That probably makes me sound insane, but you'll definitely get to hear the more interesting parts of stuff that's happened here. And yeah, despite being at probably the most uninteresting college in the world besides the music stuff, there have been at least a couple of things that have happened to me. So yeah, I appreciate you listening. Comment sweet berries in the... that's stupid. Comment, yeah, no, you can comment that if you want. Just comment any item that's in my inventory. I'll understand. Yeah, I'm gonna end this very soon, I suppose. I'm also gonna sleep, so it's fucking daytime again, but I'm gonna probably go back. Oh, right, monsters nearby. I'm gonna go back out to that later event in a few minutes. Might shower first, might eat first. Who knows? Thank you for listening to me ramble as always. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, or any comments in the comments, or insults in the comments. Although I don't get much of those on this channel. But yeah, goodbye. Thank you as always.